How did you like that exercise? What did it make you feel like? When watching the team on site here, what did you notice? Anything interesting? Any insights about what makes teams work better than others, or some teams better than others? I just want to point out a couple of observations, and I'm hoping that they resonate with your own experience doing this exercise. The idea, of course, is that teams, when we're working together, are able to achieve something that we're not able to do by ourselves. In the context of survival, of course, we would understand that we can survive better as a group than by ourselves, because we can help each other. This is the case for many objectives in life. We are fundamentally tribal. I shared that with you in a previous lecture. We're fundamentally social. This is an evolutionary or survival advantage. So in this survival exercise, we're tapping into this. How can we create conditions for us to survive better as a group than individually? Well, much of it depends on us being able, individually being able to bring the best to the team, to share the information that we have, to listen, to create a kind of safety space in which we can be listened to, in which we can share. You might have noticed, and you might have experienced that yourself doing the exercise, that oftentimes there is this preconceived notion of teamwork and good teamwork as being nice, avoiding conflict, being nice to each other, because you don't want to hurt others. This is a good intention, but it may not be an effective strategy for good and effective teamwork. If you know something and if you have some good reasoning for it, you might want to bring it up. In the context of the exercise that we saw, Nathan, who was by far the best individually in the exercise, barely spoke. He barely brought up his insights because he wanted to be nice. Had he spoken up, possibly he could increase the chances of the entire team to survive. Now I understand this is a fictional exercise, but let's just put ourselves in that state of mind. That when you have something important to do and individuals that have expertise are not volunteering it simply because they're trying to be nice and following some line of thought that they think the group has endorsed, the whole team is losing that kind of perspective. I'm asking you, have you been in situations where you didn't feel comfortable sharing with a team and just let the team run? Maybe there was a dominant person who was just sort of throwing out some ideas and everybody felt they wanted to be nice and just go along with it because in some kind of way, socially, we find it very attractive to simply be nice and just get it over with. This is dangerous for teams, for teamwork. In fact, it makes teams very ineffective. It creates a situation where teams are actually making people worse off than if they were doing work by themselves. Now, you probably know this situation. Many of my students report to me that they hate teamwork. They hate teamwork oftentimes because they feel they can do this exercise by themselves better than by working with others. This is unfortunately often the case in current business organizations too. That many people rather work by themselves than with teams because teamwork, quote unquote, sucks. Now let's stay with that notion and try to unpack it, because teamwork doesn't have to suck, but it's not a natural. It needs to be designed. People need to be intentional about it. People need to understand when teams work better than when working by themselves. And much has to do with what we talked about in leadership, bringing the best of each individual to the task, creating a safe environment, creating a way for people to share their opinion, their expertise, and focusing on solving the problem at hand.